How you doing there again, folks? It's me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos that we do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items, eat stuff and drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I apologize for the terrible lighting. It's actually only 6:30 in the afternoon at the time I'm doing this. But as we are firmly on the cusp of winter right now, with it being the very end of November, yeah, it's just getting darker earlier, and I just is what it is. Unfortunately, I don't have any. I got a glove. But anyway, folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm in my back room. Since I'm in my back room, Peter Can Thunderbolt poster's right there behind me. He's, keeping watch. It's Peter Can Thunderbolt. That's what he does. If you're unfamiliar with Peter Can Thunderbolt, by the way, get yourself some knowledge about some comic books and stuff. Especially if you enjoy The Watchmen. Then you absolutely should know who Peter Can Thunderbolt is. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, aside from that, folks, aside from being in the back room, what else am I doing? Well, boom, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Boom, it's my little chibi Dragonstorm shirt. Look at him. He's small and mighty. Oh, what the fuck is Dragonstorm? Dragonstorm is a comic book character from the Unstoppable Comics universe. And if you've never heard of Unstoppable Comics, they are based out of New York City, done by a guy named J.D. Rosario, who is an independent comic book creator, an excellent human being and individual, and somebody who I count myself as extremely fortunate. I've been able to go over there and help support his projects over the years. Everything that he does is specifically backed through Kickstarter. So every campaign goes through a whole cycle, and then when when that cycle is complete, if it's successful, there you go. And and some people aren't into the crowdfunding thing, and that is what it is. But at the very least, in regards to J.D. Rosario and Unstoppable Comics, they have continuously put out excellent work in the time that I've supported them. I've never had any issues getting my rewards. And if it sounds like I'm shilling a little bit, I am a little bit, but not in the way that it's just in the way that he's a really cool guy, and like I said, I really like his stuff. So Dragonstorm is probably my favorite character of his. He's all martial arts based. But anyway, what am I trying for you folks today? What are we doing here? Well, we're doing a backroom review because, folks, we're also doing it's a ramen review. Specifically, this is Cup Noodles with no added MSG, which doesn't matter, by the way. People who get pissy about that, MSG is basically, it runs along the same line as salt or any other type of seasoning. You don't want a lot of it, because that's not great for you, but neither is salt or anything like that. You don't have to worry about MSG. Although, to be fair, some people are sensitive to it. Fair enough. But this specifically is Cup Noodles Stir Fry Fiery Korean Chicken Flavor. Stir Fry Asian style noodles in sauce. It is apparently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 spicy peppers. So let's find out. So this whole thing was super simple to do. Just water into the fill line. Only problem with it was the fill line itself was a little bit hard to get to because you had to pour it in, then wait for the water to make its way underneath the noodles to kind of soak in. And then you'd have to do it again and do it again to get the appropriate fill line. So I ended up overfilling it a little bit, and it did kind of spill over a little, but and you pop it in for 4 minutes. So I'm more of a Maruchan person than a cup noodle person, but at the same time, I'm not against cup noodles by any means. I think I got this at Walmart if I remember correctly. Let's kind of swish it around. Let's get a nice little thing for the thumbnail. Yeah, looks like that. Sure. Let's eat it. Okay. Well, It's very okay. Very okay. Uh, First and foremost, in terms of being spicy, not really. Very little. It's there, but oh, who's a little bud? Who's your tiny bud? Your tiny bud. Y'all get the excellent presence of my little guy. This is my buddy Spectre. He's a spooky ghost ham. I have hamsters, by the way. This guy's one of my older guys. Yeah, I've had him for a couple of years now. He's a very good hamster. Who's your buddy? Oh, I love you, Spectre. He's a very good hamster. Seriously, he's a really great hamster. He's always been very sweet, very easy to handle. He's getting a little older. He's not as chubby as he used to be. He used to be a big tubby ham. Yeah, how you doing, buddy? Woo. Gotcha. He's okay. He's okay. Yeah. You want me to put you back and give you a treat because you're adorable? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I love you. Yeah. Put you back. Good. Treats. There you go. Yeah, that's a happy hamster. But anyway, hamster interruption. You know what? I don't even vaguely apologize for the hamster interruption. I'm happy I get to go over there and share my hamsters a little bit. Spectre's such a good boy. But anyway, yeah, back to the actual review at hand. It's very okay. Very, very okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting a lot from Cup Noodles, but I was expecting more from this. Again, calling it fiery, like, no. Especially when now, these days, there are so many other ramen options out there, and, like, the Korean variety have become pretty popular in recent years due to, like, the spicy challenges and stuff that people have done with them. No. There's very little heat to this. Very, very little heat. And you're going over there. I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? I want you to look at this. Does that mean it's 1 out of 6, or is it meant to be... It depends on which direction you're going. Because I was reading it as 5 out of 6, with these ones being highlighted, but I don't know. I'll say this. If it's 1 out of 6, sure, that's fine. I would say that. There is a little bit of heat to it, but extremely little. If we're talking the 5 out of 6, then no, it's ridiculous. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's probably the 1 out of the 6 then. It's fine. The flavor of it isn't terrible by any means. You know, this is basically Cup Noodle trying to kind of do a little bit more of a premium thing for themselves. Fair enough. I can appreciate that. But the problem is that there's already lots of really good premium ramens out there. And Cup Noodle and Maruchan, they sort of fit a very specific mold, at least in my head. You know, they're not supposed to be the fancier ramen. They're the cheapo ramen. And that's fine. Like, I still get Maruchan on the regular because, yeah, it's cheap and I can get a shitload of it. And it's, you know, an okay thing for me to just have a snack with, basically. In the case with this, I can appreciate them wanting to, you know, kind of tap into that more premium market a little bit. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I just don't feel like it's necessary, you know? But it's not terrible. The noodles are fine. Everything cooked through okay. And it's definitely better overall flavor than the standard cup noodle stuff. So there is that to it. Like, it's definitely an improvement over their normal stuff. But again, the problem that I personally run into is just, I don't know, as somebody who actually does, you know, eat a fair amount of this stuff throughout the course of my week, mind you, not like that much or anything, you know, but I get off of work, these are a quick, easy thing to go with. Yeah, the thing is, as somebody who, I have a lot of experience with different brands and stuff, and more so the available options. For me, it's kind of a question of, okay, well, what use is this? Because you're not as good as a proper premium one, and at the same time, you're still Cup Noodles. But flavor wise, it's okay. I don't really think it's particularly spicy or particularly Korean, but they are tasty enough. They're fine. No, all that said, two questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Um, no, and kinda. They're not bad, but it really, again, it just comes down to everything I've been saying so far, where it's just I don't know when I would buy these, because if I'm gonna buy these, why wouldn't I just go buy like the Tapatio ones, or why wouldn't I go buy the Sriracha ones, or the Shin-Chan ones, or that's the thing. I just don't know where these fit in, unless it's specifically to people. Well, for me, they don't have much of a purpose. They're not bad, and I'll gladly finish it, but I would just go for something a little bit more premium for me personally. But now, if I'm recommending it to other people, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me in my life. But at the same time, not everybody is me. Some people are like me, and if you're like me, I think that it falls in that same category. I don't see a lot of purpose to it. But I will say, if you're somebody who's maybe just out there, maybe you just want, some cup of noodle stuff, in between, on your lunch break or something like that, this might be a better option for you. Whereas the more premium ones tend to be a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, more filling. This one does basically still serve the same purpose as a cup noodles because it's, smaller form factor and everything. It'll go over there and get you through a lunch. And at the same time, it's got a little bit more going on, a little bit more complexity and certainly more flavor. So it's not a bad product. It's just I'm not the audience for it, which is weird because typically when it comes to these like cup noodle things, I'm exactly the audience. But in this case, yeah, it's in this weird hybrid area that I just don't need to exist in. I'll either do the cheapo stuff or I'll do the actual more proper premium stuff. This one doesn't really need to apply. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly proper fancy ramen-tastic rest of your life. Because, folks, if you want to know about fancy ramen, I have an entire playlist, which this one will add on to, called Ramen Reviews. So if you want my opinion on cup or instant noodle stuff of any variety, I got a whole bunch of videos. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you gotta do, folks. You're gonna try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there with you in it. Life can be really stressful and just really difficult to deal with sometimes. And when we run into those situations, it's important we go over there, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, for me, doing the thing was going over there and getting a bunch of hamsters. I have 8 hamsters, a hedgehog, and a cat. Don't worry, the cat is not allowed in this room. But the hamsters and the hedgehog, this is their room. And that might sound slightly crazy, and it is, to be fair. But, for me personally, having these little guys as my family, especially going through some difficult things in my life for the past few years, unfortunately, I've had to kind of deal in certain circumstances and overcome things that I would have rather have not have to have overcome. But they became a very important part of my life and something that really helped push me through my darkest times. And, whether it's my buddy Spectre, who you just saw, or my buddy Bernard, who's been in a number of my videos, or any of my other hamsters who don't really show up in my videos because they're a little bit more seclusionary. Or my adorable hedgehog, CPZ, who will definitely not show up in a video because he is not interested in that at all. But my cat has shown up in a few. But what I'm getting at, folks, is whatever is important for you, just let that be your strength. No matter what it is, whether it's, animals or just fans or friends, family, what have you. Anyway.